What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, of course, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. We are back with another banger of an episode, a real special one that I am stoked about. Before my guest gets in here, as I do every episode, I'll address the proverbial elephant in the room. You're looking at the smoldering good looks, and how could you not be? You got your eyes feasted on these luscious blonde locks. I will confirm for you that, yes, I am the one and only love child of one Diamond David Lee Roth. Now you know. Matter of fact, I'm going to give myself a gander just to make sure that everything is in order before my guest gets in here. And I'm excited, as I said, about this one. This is going to be an epic conversation, that I have no doubt. I've been looking forward to this one. Before my guest gets in here, I will, of course, do my shameless promotional spiel because, as you all know, if you have a podcast, you got to pimp it. My pimp hand feeling strong today, as always, so I'm going to give it a shot. Make sure to tap in to Pod Scum on Facebook. Our handle, of course, is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. Don't be confused. I have two podcasts. I promote them through one Facebook. That's all I can handle. Same with Instagram, same handle, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. And of course, most importantly, if you're watching right now, you're on the channel, this is where you need to tap in. This is where you're going to get your proverbial meat and potatoes, the amazing content that we roll out to you guys weekly. So make sure to tap in while you're here. Please like, please subscribe. And please smash that notification bell so you will be privy when those new episodes drop. And, of course, I invite you, as always, to peruse past episodes. There is a treasure trove. I say it all the time. I will say it again. We have so much amazing content, conversations with incredibly talented people. I invite you guys to dive in, no matter. Pick your poison, whether you're a fan of the pugilism and you dig the boxing stuff or you dig the rock and metal stuff. My guest is here, so I'm going to shut up. We'll do promoting later. We are getting down to it right now. I am excited. Let's go. Wow, Evan, I got to say, this is a huge deal for me, man. Really, man. I appreciate you doing this so much, man.
That's them. Sorry. Hey, buddy.
No worries, man. No worries.
How you doing, bro?
An honor, man. Really. It really is an honor, man. First of all, congratulations, man. This new album is incredible, man.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm super excited to have you on here, man. And before we talk about Biohazard stuff and the music, I always like to put a shine on stuff that's even transcends that and is bigger than that. And I think you would probably agree, as great as the music is, I would love to talk to you about Mantorship.
Absolutely, bro. I'm happy to,
because your transformation is incredible. I got to say, I've been a fan for a long time. I've tapped into everything. I even loved Supergroup. I watched it religiously. I loved I love everything that you guys do. I've had the privilege of having Danny on the podcast a couple times. So I'm really a huge fan, but your transformation, seemingly physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even, really is remarkable. And as a 52-year-old guy myself, a father, a grandfather, and I think other men around the world would probably love to know what you've tapped into and how you've managed to make this transformation. You look incredibly physically fit. You seem like you're in a fantastic place.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, well, first, thanks for that great introduction, and the honor is mine, and I'm grateful for your time,
Sure.
That's our currency, our time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you share your time with somebody, it's the ultimate thing you can give them. It's not your money.
Well, it's an honor for me.
Well, thank you. You can make more money, but you can't make more time.
Incredibly true. Yep.
So, what is that Eagles song? You can spend all your time making money, and then you spend all your money making time.
Right. Wise words.
Anyways, for me, I've had a colorful life. I've done a lot of really interesting things, and I'm a person who possesses a lot of self-belief and discipline and hard work, but always with creative projects I'm passionate about. And I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've struggled with addiction. I've struggled with mental health issues, with anxiety, with depression. I had 3 divorces. Life happens. I made a lot of money. I lost all my money. I made a lot of money. I lost all my money. You realize, every man has that moment that he wakes up one day and he's like, this is my life. This isn't the life I dreamed of. There's a lot of things about this life that maybe I just accept. Because men, there's this omerta, this kind of code of honor of like, we're the provider, we're the protector, we don't need anything, we don't need any help. We take a bunch of pride in that. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're providers and protectors, and yes, that's our role in society. But as men, in order to be a good provider, protector, husband, boyfriend, caretaker, father, most importantly, father, if you're not working on yourself, what are you teaching your children?
Yeah.
A lot of us, we go to school, we get a job, and then we just phone it in for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
And I don't think that's what life is for. I'm constantly looking for new inspiration. Sorry about the noise. It's raining in the jungle.
No worries. No worries. I can't even hear it on my end. You sound great.
I got to show you this.
Yeah. 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 Now that's a nice serene place to be right there. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. You set yourself up with a nice, some nice ambiance there.
What I came up on in my quote unquote transformation, and I guess life's always changing. The only constant in life is change. And for sure, a lot of men wake up one day and find that they're very dissatisfied with their life and don't know how to unravel it. Seems like too much. And next thing you know, there's one suicide every minute in the world by men.
Yeah.
We're 80% of the suicide rate. I found myself in a hole, man. It's 50, going through my 3rd divorce. And I needed a change. I felt like a ship at sea without a compass. Didn't know what to do with myself. And the problem was I had no purpose. I had kind of done everything on my bucket list and didn't know what to do next. And the man without purpose is like an astronaut lost in space. And we find purpose sometimes in small, meaningless things, and sometimes in deep, profound things. But there need to be some kind of balance in the world, in our lives. And my son and my best friend did an intervention and said, you've been visiting Mexico through the pandemic and you're always so happy when you're there. Why don't you just move? And you're crazy enough to go live in the 3rd world. And I just said, okay. And my best friend got cancer and died right in this moment. And I was having health problems. It was like the universe was telling me I needed to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
But I moved down to the jungle. I moved to Tulum, Mexico. It's an amazing, conscious community here of really kind and spiritual people of all walks of life, people from all over the world. And I decided I was going to move to Tulum and write a book documenting the process of how to learn to live in alignment with your truth. Because a lot of us are living with lies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like my job. I like my family. I like my marriage. I'm satisfied with where I live. So many people wish to do something else with their life and don't pursue those wishes because the fear of the unknown seems greater than staying in an uncomfortable situation. But change outside of our comfort zone is where growth happens, Long story short, I came down here and I started rituals, meditation, yoga, breath work, vegetarian diet, only eat what the earth gives me,
Mm-hmm.
and practicing some principles of yoga, like cause no harm wherever I can. And I started to attract other men who were interested in these topics. And Mantorship was born. Thousands of guys have been involved so far, and a lot of guys, you know, today we have a meeting at 6 o'clock here, and it's going to be awesome. There's a lot of guys have just moved back to Tulum, who've gone away, and there'll be 30 guys show up tonight, sit around the fire.
Yep.
In a safe space that we've created for men to be vulnerable and share what's really going on with us. I'm worried about this thing. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay the rent next month. I don't know how to tell my wife and my kids, or internal struggles, or a lot of guys are single and lonely and don't know how to talk to anybody about it. A lot of guys have suffered a lot of abuse in their life and have never done the deep work, the shadow work.
Yep.
To look at our traumas and not pretend they didn't happen, but overcome. And sometimes when you share your darkest secrets, the things we feel shame about, and somebody else says, yeah, I've been through something similar, it lightens the load. And I've had hundreds of guys tell me, you know, before I found Mantorship, I was thinking about killing myself, or I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed. I'd gained 100 pounds. But guys get in our program and they find a path. And we support each other. We keep each other accountable. We support each other through hard times. We celebrate each other's victories. And it's a really pure thing. You know, nobody has any ulterior motive. We don't talk about politics or religion, so nobody ever argues about anything.
Yep.
I'm actually sitting here with my assistant who's helping me wrap up the book. And my goal is to get it out early 26. And
Awesome.
the book is, by my account, the gateway drug to joining our community, because it frames a lot of ideas and offers a lot of solutions in mindset hacking and gaining perspective and learning to adopt an abundance mindset versus a poverty mindset, learning to learn to see the good in all things, even bad things. And it kind of gives guys a place to check in every week, or more often if they like. We have an app. You can go to the App Store and download the Mantorship app. You can go to our website, wolfpack.mantorship.com. And we have live video meetings, just how you and I are talking right now.
Yeah.
Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Time is the Mantorship Circle of Brotherhood. We have a Stoicism meeting on Fridays where we talk about learning to apply Stoic concepts to our life. But this isn't like just people talking. This is about application.
Yeah.
You know, a guy stands up at the meeting and says, you know, I've been hating myself because I've gotten fat and out of shape. And because of that, my self-esteem and my confidence are down. And I haven't had a girlfriend in 2 years. And I don't feel comfortable even talking to women because I don't feel good about myself. And I've wanted to go to the gym and have a diet, but I've been procrastinating and stuck. I can't get out of my own way. And I need to be held accountable. Can anybody here help me?
Yeah.
And 10 guys will raise their hand and say, I'll text you every morning. And you come back, and I'll say, come back next week here and tell everybody what you did.
Yeah.
We talk about letting go of resentments. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about living in your highest vibration and trying to become the best version of yourself. Let's fucking Tom Brady this life.
Yeah.
You know, I spent plenty of time wasting my time. I'm a good guy to be a face for this because I've made more mistakes than anybody I know, you know.
Yeah. And
So
thank
it's not
God,
about,
thank God we are where we are now, and these walls have come down, and we can talk about this stuff. Because for years, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head. It was very taboo for the longest time to talk about these kind of issues. You know what I mean? So thank God those walls have come down, and stuff like this exists, because it is necessary. Because you know, you made a great point earlier. We don't have to put up this bravado anymore. We can freely talk about these issues nowadays. And that,
you know,
feels
for
good.
me, a kid growing up in tough guy Brooklyn.
Yep.
You know, my image of what I thought it meant to be a real man was way the fuck off from what I think it is today. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And you know, people see me and how I look, and know a bit of my history, and then they'll hear me be the most vulnerable guy in the room, and it kind of helps other guys feel safe.
Yeah.
So I try to be the kind of leader that leads by example versus talking at people. And there's a lot of other leaders in our group, guys that we call mentors, that have really good advice for other guys, and we help each other. It's kind of like having a board of directors for your life.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't run a company without a board of directors,
right?
But you'll run your fucking life without one.
Right. Right.
It doesn't sound very intelligent. Anyway, that's what most of us do. So it's a new thing, and we're going to announce our next U.S. tour soon, maybe next week, and I'll be holding Circle of Brotherhood meetings at my shows. Like earlier in the day, I'll be like, come down after sound check, like meet me at 5 o'clock, you know, by the venue, and we're gonna do a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm also I have a fitness app that I'm coaching guys and helping guys get in shape. But I'm actually in the middle of a rebrand of it, just changing the name of it, because it's I'm gonna be setting everything to metal music.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nothing gets people motivated like metal. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Metal, hardcore, punk, whatever, you know, just hype it up. So if anybody's interested in connecting with me for Mantorship or for my fitness app, Mindful Warrior Fitness, they can go to my Instagram. I have a link tree with all my touch points there. And book will be out soon, and if you want to talk about Biohazard, we can talk about Biohazard if you want.
Yeah, we'll definitely dive into Biohazard, but I always like to get important stuff out there.
I don't talk about religion or politics.
Yeah, amen to that. There's too much of that going around on social media anyway. Nowadays, everyone's an armchair politician or on a soapbox, or is a self-proclaimed expert on everything. So that is refreshing. I try to keep that out of my interviews as well. But I do want to ask you, because we haven't had new Biohazard in over a decade, since this transformation, has it changed the way you approach music, and has it changed you as a creative person, as an artist? What's the impact been on you creatively?
Well, in terms of me as an artist, I'm halfway finished with a solo album, a new project I'm doing, and it's called Shed My Skin.
Okay.
I haven't told anybody the name of it yet. You're the first person.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, and it's really heavy, and it's clearly Evan from Biohazard singing.
Yep.
But it's more melodic. It's a bit more progressive. It's a bit more metal than hardcore, and it's kind of a modern evolution of what I believe I can do.
Yeah.
You know, to the best of my ability, and I'm really excited about it. I'm passionate about it, and you know, we've got a little time off Biohazard right now, so I'm working on that, finishing that record. But as an ethos statement, I would say the greatest gain that I made in my progression in life, my transformation, if you want to call it, the only thing constant in life is change, man.
Yeah.
So
amen.
The only thing is I've learned a lot about gratitude, man. And you know, I used to grumble and be like a cranky old rock star. I can't believe I got to go to fucking Belgium.
Right.
I'm fucking excited like a kid about everything. I'm grateful to be able to do it. And maybe it took me to get older to have the appreciation like I did when I was young. Because in the middle there, I got lost in my ego quite a bit. And it's easy to. I mean, look at all the fucking lead singers. All the Chris Cornells, all the Chester Benningtons, all the Scott Weilands, all the Lane Staleys, all the great singers of my era.
Yeah, rest in peace.
So
all
many
of
them.
Yep.
Shannon Hoon, and I could go on and on. There's a long list. And I'm still here making music. A new Biohazard album just fucking came out.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of it. And I think, you know, something about our confidence in making Biohazard songs.
Yeah.
You know, our producer, Matt Hyde, said, hey, guys, don't try to reinvent the wheel here. Don't try to be Lorna Shore. You know, don't try to like change your sound. people want a Biohazard record. People
Yep.
want a record that would come in between Urban Discipline and State of the World Address.
Yep.
So that's what we tried to give them. And it was cool because we were on this huge sold out European tour before we did the record. And every night we were playing all the old songs. And because it was the OG lineup, we just played stuff from the first 3 records.
Right.
And it was put us in that headspace, old school.
Yeah.
And we find that our lyrics, our socially conscious lyrics, are as relevant today as ever, you know.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And it's funny that you say that, because Danny, when I had him on here, said the exact same thing about you guys keeping your authenticity, and you know, the statement you made about not reinventing the wheel and just coming out and just being who you guys are. You know what I mean? So that's funny that you guys almost have that like as a band credo. You know what I mean? Like even without it being spoken, like amongst you guys, that Danny kind of echoed that exact same, or you were echoing what Danny said. So,
I don't know if you could read my face tattoo.
Yeah, what's it say? Something about strength?
It says authentic.
Authentic. Okay.
But it's backwards, so I see it
Okay.
in the mirror. I see it in the mirror every morning.
Yeah. I think that's what people and I remember talking about this with Danny. I think that is what people appreciate about you guys, is how you know, authentic you guys are. Now, when you guys got together to make this album, because it had been so long, what was the creative process like? Did someone come in with the lion's share of the ideas, or did you guys just get together and was it very collaborative?
I mean, everybody had songs and everybody had riffs and everybody had ideas. Danny came in with a mother load of fucking amazing material.
Yeah.
But everybody in the band wrote songs on this album. Everybody in the band contributed music and lyrics. Everybody in the band, and everybody in this band is really prolific, and everybody in this band can make their own album, you know?
Yep.
But only when you have all the ingredients of the soup, you know, is it fucking, you know, the soup.
You're right. Right.
You know?
Yeah. And now touring is such a big part of what you guys do. What's your relationship like with touring now, you know, here in 2025? You know, obviously there's a glamour side of it, traveling, seeing the world. But you know, again, leaving your creature comforts, you know, being away from stuff, it can be difficult.
It's much more glamorous to talk about it than to do it.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I was in 37 European cities in 38 days. You know, Paris, Vienna, London, Barcelona. I could love saying that shit, but
yeah,
it's exhausting. And you know, we're not young guys. We're in tip-top shape. You know,
right.
I'm in good physical condition, but it's tiring. And you know, I still manage to hit a gym or do yoga or both every day.
Yeah.
For me, I look at touring completely differently. I look at it as, this is the day that I'm in. I'm going to make this the best day I can wherever I am. Find a hotel, find a gym, you know, whatever it may be. If I'm, you know, traveling with a girlfriend, let's go see the Eiffel Tower. And if I'm, you know, my son, who's 30, works for the band. And he's on tour with me, so all the time we go out to get Italian food.
Yeah,
we look up for like the best 5-star Italian restaurant we can find in town.
Yeah,
you know, I'm from Brooklyn. I used to work at a pizzeria. I used to own a pizzeria. I can't get that out of my blood. And you know, I try to make it a well-rounded day. That I do some work on some of my creative projects. That I take care of my physical and mental, and emotional well-being. That I reach out to the people I love every day, and that I get myself really prepared to give the fans the best show possible, because the reason that I'm there.
Yeah.
Even though I like to do a lot of other things during the day, I'm a highly productive and caffeinated person who wakes up really early.
Yeah.
I'm usually up several hours before anyone on the bus makes a sound.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Today I was at the gym at 7 a.m. today.
Yeah, which is not typical rock star hours.
No, but you know, I think the difference is, you know, nowadays, like, I'm not at the after party. This is, you
right.
You know, and there really isn't. It's, you know, we've been doing these incredible VIP meet and greets with the real fans, and like the super fans come out and they've got every one of our fucking 10 studio albums and live albums and t-shirts from the early 90s, and posters and, special, a poster by, by famous artists when we were touring with Helmet and House of Pain, or Slayer and
Yeah.
Machine Head, and really cool memorabilia, and people sharing stories with us. Hey man, I was going through a hard time and I got this fucking Biohazard tattoo when you guys put out Urban Discipline, and the lyrics and that really inspired me to overcome XYZ. And like, we enjoy, hearing that we connect to people and that people connect to our music. And hey man, music might be our highest vibration as humans, when we connect in dancing, when we connect in a concert, when we connect in that other kind of way, where where music is a universal language. Doesn't matter if people even speak the language or understand,
No doubt.
all of our words. The fans in Argentina, the fans in Chile, the fans in Brazil, the fans in Eastern Europe, in Estonia.
Yep.
Our music brings people together, people who are kind of aligned in facing life's fucking problems head on. Biohazard is a source of strength for people.
Yeah, I love that.
That's what I've learned. I never articulated that with those exact words before, but that's what I would say would be the mass, like, underlying message. It inspires people that they can do anything.
Yeah, and music is very transformative too. You make a great point. I work my day job. I work in healthcare as a nurse, and I work in a nursing home. And when people come in to play music for our residents, I see it. Even some of the people with dementia, who aren't there mentally anymore, they start tapping their foot. It transports them back to a place. You can really see the transformative healing power of and the effect of it on people.
It's so true. It's like, we think we have five senses, but the way we receive music, it tickles a different nerve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. When our original drummer, Danny's been in the band since the beginning of the band being a professional band.
Right. But Anthony was there before him, though.
Anthony was there for the first couple of years, helping us put it together. He introduced me and Bobby, and Danny's been my friend since I'm about 10 years old, dude.
Yeah.
But I knew Anthony about the same amount of time, maybe even longer. And I used to live at Anthony's house. And when Anthony was dying of a brain tumor and he couldn't talk anymore, he was in hospice, and I was on the phone with him all day, every day. I kind of ran out of shit to say.
Yeah.
We relived every funny story from our childhood and our teen years and our starting the band, and all of our inside jokes 100 times, and talking about, characters from the neighborhood and inside jokes.
Yeah.
And then it just came down to me playing a bunch of old Kiss records for about 5 days and just singing along with, Hooligan and Almost Human and, Back in the New York Groove and 100,000 Years and Black Diamond and shit that I knew that he loved. And I knew he could hear me, and I was fucking crying while I was singing, because I was crying him to his eternal sleep. I was singing him to his eternal sleep.
Yeah.
And I know that brought him some peace and some joy, and I know that he felt something.
Yeah.
And, people ask me all the time about music, like, what kind of music do you like? And I have a really wide breadth of music that I listen to, and I have eclectic taste. A lot of people don't know I'm into like hard techno, and I DJ also, and I rap, and I have a rock band, but my first love is classic rock and the blues, and I listen to the Allman Brothers every day.
Yeah.
And I say there's two kinds of music in the world. There's music that makes you feel something all over your body and fighting back tears or letting them out, and then there's everything else.
Right. Great point. Yeah.
Irrespective of genre, right?
Yeah.
Could be a soul, a classical song, a reggae song that touches you, makes you feel something. That's your medicine right there.
Yeah.
So like me, I live out loud, and I look to feel, not to numb my feelings. I want to feel everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
of course.
that's why Biohazard is how it is. We leave our blood on the fucking stage every night.
Yeah, literally. I just saw Billy was busted open at a show recently. I saw on your Instagram. And the show went on. A little blood spilled isn't going to stop Biohazard.
You know, it's funny because all of us have gotten injured during the show,
I
broken
can imagine.
bones,
Yeah.
and like we're still four guys from Flatbush Avenue at the end of the day,
Yep.
and nobody would want to be the guy who's like, I need to go to the hospital right now. Everybody,
Right.
and Billy of all of us is the most soldier of any of us, and you know, Bobby played a whole tour with a fucking broken hand recently.
Yeah.
But Billy, you know, there was some loose wires on the stage and he slipped. And you know, when you fall backwards and you lose control, you're backpedaling
Yeah.
and like it's gaining speed. And he had his guitar in his hands. He didn't even stop playing. And he fucking cracked his head on the fucking edge of the drum riser. I mean, it could have killed him
Yeah.
on the fucking drum riser. I was singing and playing and I didn't see him. It was outside of my peripheral vision. And I turned around and there was like a huge commotion and they were picking him up off the floor and it looked like somebody spilled water. It was blood.
Yeah.
And he wrapped something around his head and just played the show with blood pouring all over him. And after the show, somebody was like, hey, man, that was a cool gag you guys did with the blood on the stage. And I was like, that wasn't a fucking joke. Billy fucking cracked his head open. But he finished the show and he played great. And it was awesome. You know, life goes on.
Well, I'm proud to say that I'm an upstate New Yorker, man. That's how we build them here in New York, man. We build them tough. We just do, man. You know, I'm not from down in the city, man, but New York is New York, you know.
Upstate represent. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm closer to Syracuse, so I'm kind of smack dab right in the middle of the state. So 2025. Why was 2025 the right time for a Biohazard album? How did all this come together? And by the way, Christmas, for metal fans that are watching this, Christmas has come fucking early this year, man. Biohazard has a new album in 2025. That feels good to say, Evan. That just feels good to say.
Yeah, it really does. And like for me, who I had kind of I'm not a person who really goes back much in life.
Right.
You know, like I don't really believe in, if something didn't work, let's try something new. Let's not try to hammer a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah.
But I was very different going into this. I think everybody has a much more mature, open mind about the band now.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's happy to be doing it, man. We feel something when we get up there, man. You know, me and Bobby fucking crack up on stage laughing because we're reliving moments from me and him being in the mosh pit at 17 years old, you know, going to see Carnivore or the Cro-Mags or Suicidal Tendencies as young guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, now we're not just guys who make the music, we're legends, you know.
Yeah.
But when I run into somebody that I haven't seen in a while, or I text somebody, whether it's, you know, one of my, you know, if I'm texting Toby from H2O, or if I'm, you know, texting Ivan from Five Finger Death Punch, I'm like, yo, you know, we got a new album out. And they're like, new Biohazard, get the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
People love, a lot of people really dig what we did back in the day, and this resurgence of hardcore and metal, and you see all these bands like Papa Roach and Deftones selling out fucking stadiums now.
Yeah.
It might be our time, man. You know,
Yeah.
I always felt like Biohazard, we kind of had our own style. I mean, we toured a lot with Pantera and with Slayer, but you know, I feel like our music was influential to other bands and well received by fans, but I don't think we ever had the commercial success we could have. And maybe the time is right now, but you know, I think everybody's openness and the timing of the world and plenty of material to write about, you know.
Yeah, there's no shortage of that. Do you feel like you can put a finger on, you know, that commercial success that you're talking about that you feel like eluded you? Are you able to put a finger on why you think it didn't happen back then? Because obviously I'm thinking about albums like State of the World Address or Urban Discipline. I mean, these are fucking seminal albums, man.
Well,
You know?
I mean, in those days, the way people received music was through the radio.
Right.
And through CDs, really.
Yep.
And, you know, now people stream things, so it's more readily available. And I also think, you know, the fact that we say fuck in every song kept us off the radio for 30 fucking years. And I guess you can say fuck on Spotify now, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Those walls are down now. Yeah. It's
And
all
I
fair game.
also think, you know, I really think the younger generation, whether they're into Turnstile or Knocked Loose or Haywire or into more like metalcore kind of stuff, um, a lot of them never get to see Biohazard. It's their dad's T-shirt.
Right.
It's their older brother's T-shirt.
Right.
But it's Biohazard. It's iconic. You
Yeah.
know, it's funny because none of us thought we'd be relevant. But the first tour we did was festivals with fucking hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
And before we struck a note, the crowd was fucking chanting.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, the powerful connection between people is bigger than words, you know. And we knew in that moment, that first big show, that Biohazard was back and that maybe we were more relevant than ever before. And I mean, look, it was like lightning in a bottle. Like, we didn't know we were going to be good when we got back together. Maybe somebody in the band wasn't going to play well. Maybe our chops weren't good, but everybody's been working on our craft. You know, I'm a better singer and bass player than I was in 1995.
Yeah.
Period. I can sing every one of those songs with more power, with more clarity, with a little extra zhuzh.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the voice thing. How has your voice held up? You know, you sound great on this new album. Are you a guy that's ever ascribed to any type of voice care regimen? Are you a warm-up guy? Or are you just one of those guys that's always been able to just jump up there and just kind of belt it out?
I'm a let's fucking go guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just have to warm up my mind.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to mentally prepare. And the way my body and my mind are so connected, I do a bunch of push-ups and yoga before the show.
Yeah.
You know, I do like a power flow vinyasa yoga
Yeah.
backstage. And by the time I hit the stage, I'm ready to get in the ring.
Yeah.
And I feel great. Billy does a lot of vocal warm-ups, takes good care of his voice. Sometimes if I'm sick on the road or something, I drink some tea. But as long as I can hear myself, I can always sing, you know.
Now the new album is out. Are you one for, because there's websites all over the place nowadays, and you know, album reviews, this kind of stuff, people talking about the album. Are you somebody that looks at feedback and criticism, or do you just put the thing out and you don't even pay no mind to what people are saying?
I mean, I don't go looking for it. A lot of people tag me in social media.
Okay.
No one's ever tagged me in like a bad review.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we're also not the kind of guys people say shit to our face, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
if there are any negative reviews, I haven't seen them or heard about them.
Yeah.
One confused European kid did a review, and like he like dissed some of our vocals and some of the things, but then he gave the album like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And said what a fan he was. I kind of didn't understand it. He looked like a guy whose parents didn't pay attention to him when he was a kid and just
Probably.
dying to have a voice. But we got a good review of it anyway. And you don't have to like all my vocals. Not everybody's going to like everything. I don't take those things. I don't take those things personally. But I always think people who give a backhanded comment, you know, they're trying to heal some fucking trauma of their own.
No doubt.
I just want to invite the dude to Mantorship, maybe help him find his path, you know.
He sounds like he needs it. Yeah, he sounds like he's lost. Yeah. Now the album comes in at 11 songs, a little over 38 minutes. In today's world, you know, since the last time you guys put on an album, certainly dwindling attention spans. It's a track by track world. People are making playlists. They're not sitting down necessarily and consuming albums, dropping the needle and taking the whole journey. Did you guys sit around and think about how many songs this needs to be? How many minutes do we want this to come in at? Was that a conscientious?
I mean, the record contract was for 10.
Okay.
You know, the band gets paid on 10 or time, every band, you know. We had 11 songs that we felt strong enough about that we could finish in time to the deadline to get it out. And everybody was trying to vote on like what those 10 should be and what should be the order. And our producer was like, you know what? It's a complete thought. Put the whole thing out, give the fans an extra song.
Yeah.
You'll write plenty more. we were thinking about holding one back and saving it for like a single, for like a movie soundtrack.
Right.
You know, things come up. Sometimes you get a call and they're like, hey, there's this new video game coming out and they're looking for a Biohazard song. Or, hey, there's a, you know, a new movie, you know, the new John Wick movie is being
Right.
made and they need a song for the big fight scene, you know.
Right. Right.
I'll tell you what was cool. Right before the album came out, Conor McGregor has a bare knuckle boxing league, right?
Yes, he does. Yep.
And they started a new one where it's hockey fighting. They're bare knuckle boxing on ice. Two guys in hockey equipment get in the ring on skates on ice. The fucking ref is on skates. There's no sticks, there's no goals, there's no pucks. And these guys just literally punch each other in the face until somebody's knocked out cold.
Yeah.
And it's some fucking heavy duty shit, you know, and people are really into this. And they used the song Fight to Be Free from the album for as each guy walked into the arena, like for the fanfare, you know.
Yeah.
And then whenever they declared the winner, it was kind of like the UFC. They take the hands of the two guys and they say, and the winner by knockout, this guy. They play Warriors, the last song on the album, which
That's
is
awesome.
One of my personal favorites.
Me too.
Yeah. Somebody recently gave the album a 10 out of 10 review and said, my only suggestion is if you listen to it in reverse, it's better.
Really? No kidding. So if you start with the last song and go backwards.
He said, he goes, you guys got everything right but the sequence. So it's funny, like, you know, I love to play like old Black Sabbath records on shuffle.
Yeah.
You know, so you hear them out of order. And I do like to take the journey as well. But, you know, it's funny. Everybody has an idea.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And now, in doing what you've done and getting the chance to do it for so long, you've obviously gotten to play all over the world, play festivals. Who's somebody that you've gotten to meet that you've idolized or has made an impact on you? Just one of those moments where you're kind of like, holy fuck, I can't believe I just got to meet that person.
I mean, Ozzy.
Yeah, rest in peace.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Robert Plant.
Big ones. Biggies. Yeah.
You know, it's funny too because, like, you know, I remember meeting Metallica and being like, "Oh my god, I grew up listening to these guys," and then next thing I know, we're on tour with Metallica.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm backstage, you know, joking with Lars, you know, joking with at the time was Jason.
Yeah.
Joking with you know, high-fiving James in the backstage.
Yeah.
And like pinch myself, I'm in the fucking room, you know.
For real, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of awesome, amazing people out there. You know, a lot of people in bands never really get to hang out. You know? It was always a thing. You know, we grew up with you know, the guys from Typo Negative and the guys from Life of Agony are all from our neighborhood, kind of ish, and. We used to say, you know, nobody saw anybody for 20 years because everybody was on their own fucking world tour.
Yep.
And once in a blue moon, you know, we're at a festival and we're backstage and we're hanging out with, you know, old friends from Cypress Hill or from, you know, whatever band that we used to tour back in the day. And it's always such a, like a kindred spirits, you know, you have experiences with people and, it's amazing to connect and reconnect, you know.
Do you feel like all these years, you know, well, you know, in the 13 years that we haven't had any Biohazard music, do you feel like that time off has been beneficial, or would you have liked there to have been music in there, or was it just not going to happen? Was it just timing?
I needed the time.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything that any of us were even planning. It just happened. I was Danny's brother, Richie, who's also a drummer, and I grew up with Danny and his two brothers, Joey and Richie. You know, we all went to the same school, you know. Sometimes I would go to Danny's house to jam, you know, bring my bass over. And it didn't even matter if Danny wasn't home. I would play with his brother Richie, who was also a drummer.
Yep.
And Danny's son Colton is a sick drummer.
He was
I'll
telling
tell
me
you,
that. Yeah.
I'll tell you the coolest thing that happened on this whole fucking reunion for me. The last few nights of the tour with Biohazard and Onyx and Bayway, and Swollen Teeth. Danny's son Jacob is a gifted musician, amazing performer. He comes out with the guitar and starts playing Punishment with us.
That's awesome. That's
And my son Sam, who's an artist, who's like a solo artist, comes out also, picks up the mic and starts singing my rap part in Punishment.
yeah.
So I'm on stage fucking playing. The place is sold out, it's rocking. You know, a couple of thousand people are jumping up and down to Punishment.
Yeah.
It's asses over elbows, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I look back at Danny, and there's my son and his son, like arm in arm, playing Punishment.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Couldn't have written that for a fucking movie, you know.
Right. And so I'm fascinated, again, as a guy in my 50s, the whole mentorship thing. I want to get back to, you said you kind of, spoke in more general terms, about you were going through this divorce, health issues. When you really dove in and said, I've got to do the work and I've got to make some changes, was there one specific like light bulb moment? Was there one thing that was the impetus behind all of it, or was it just an amalgamation kind of everything?
I'd say it was fear above everything.
Yeah.
Watching people I know kill themselves and being afraid of sliding that deep into a hole that I didn't want to lose my lust for life. So I went searching for it, fucking with a huge hunger.
Yeah.
To rediscover your inspiration to live when you may have lost it. That's what my book is about. It's a guide for men on how to learn to live in alignment with the life you truly want. Because if you want to be a surf instructor, but you live in the mountains, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And if you want to be single and spending your time in Medellin or Thailand, but you're married with kids and you're unhappy, and everyone in the house knows you're unhappy, you're a dick. You treat people bad. You're yelling at your kids. Or you're fighting with your wife constantly in front of your kids. You're teaching your kids this is what family does.
Right.
You're teaching your kids this is what a relationship is, but you're too afraid to get a divorce because you don't know what that is, and it sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah.
And then you go through these things and you realize life continues on. Man, I live an inspired life.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning and I jump in the pool and I get on my knees and I thank God for another day, and I do some breath work and I do a meditation and I do my yoga and I go to the gym and I eat healthy food. And then I put on my creative hat and I say, what am I going to do today? Am I going to work on mentorship stuff? Am I going to work on my book? Am I going to work on, creating content, letting people know about what I'm doing, about what I'm offering? Because in this incarnation of Evan Seinfeld, I'm about helping others, So, and, you can go to my Instagram and see pictures of big fat Evan Seinfeld out of breath on stage, embarrassed to take his shirt off.
Yeah.
And, you're the first person I've ever worn a shirt in an interview with.
Yeah.
It's cold and raining here today. And
yeah.
And I was rushing home from an appointment, and it feels odd to be wearing a shirt, even though it's open.
Yeah.
And sleeveless. It's a lot for me. I like the hot weather, so I live in a hot place.
Yeah.
I like the beach, so I live in a place with a beach. It's not something that I work all year round to save up my money because I live in an expensive place to get a vacation. I live here very intentionally, and when this place doesn't serve me, I'll move to another place fearlessly.
Yeah.
And I'll make new friends and I'll build new community because that's what I do. But, on the fitness side, man, do I love, and if I tell you love, to help other guys get their shit together.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many guys have come to me with their head in their hands like, bro, I was in great shape in my 20s and I'm in my 40s or my 50s. And I haven't, I got a big belly. I probably haven't seen my dick in years,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and it happens a lot with guys in their 40s like they're getting divorced.
Yep.
And now they're going to be single for the first time in 20 years and they don't know
Mhm.
what they're going to do.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Scary.
And I say, you know what? Maybe you don't have the whole plan, but while you're figuring it out, you could get in the best physical shape of your life and let that fucking boost your confidence and raise your vibration. Because when you're working on yourself and you're working on yourself, you're investing in your life, in your abilities, in your happiness. Happiness was something that I learned down here in this chapter of my life. Happiness is a decision. You have
Yes.
to really want to be happy. But the sentiment in America these days is like everybody's just pointing out what they're unhappy and upset about and want to know if you agree with them or not. I don't give a
Right.
fuck
Yep.
about anything that I don't give a fuck about anything I don't have control over. I'm not going to sit around and complain about what anybody's doing to me or to the world. I'll either try to make a difference or I won't fucking pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not going to let that dictate how I feel and how I treat people and turn me into a judging person.
Yep.
There's this kind of fascist attitude in the world now, in America. Like, if you don't agree with my set of values and stuff and, which political party I'm in, then I hate you. I know blood brothers that grew up together in Brooklyn that don't talk because one likes the president and one doesn't like the president.
Yeah. It's divisive. Yeah.
Divided we fall.
Yeah.
Divided
Yeah.
we fall.
Yeah.
What does that really mean? It's kind of an entendre for united we stand and let's get together. And my big picture take, and this is going to sound lofty, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like, judge me how you want. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
You
Right.
feel
And that's
some kind of way. If you feel some kind of way about Evan, that's shit. That's your shit.
right. Right.
I'm doing my best to live in my authenticity and be 100% real with everybody and everything in my life.
And
Anyway,
so,
what I was gonna say about it is this is something I learned down here. People sit around and wait for happiness to fall off the building and hit them over the head.
yeah.
You have to curate your life, and the world around us is changing. There's AI that's smarter than us.
Oh yeah.
So if we're not working on constantly recurating our life, where we could get left behind and feel passed by. And that's when people get old. They start phoning it in, they give up.
Yep.
Yeah. You know how many people contact me? Man, really nice fucking people. Like, I remember when social media first came out, people were so negative and so hateful, judging and dissing keyboard ninjas. I always thought those people were fucking cowards.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
some pussy ass shit. But
I had John Joseph from the Cro-Mags on last week. He said he used the term keyboard commandos. There's a lot of keyboard commandos.
listen, nobody fights the keyboard commandos with more fucking lust for life than my boy Johnny Bloodclot.
Love him. Yeah.
Go full. John Joseph, love that guy, man.
Yeah.
Goes full on for everything. Everything he does, full on.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying about it though? Help me.
The keyboard commandos. We were talking about keyboard ninjas. You called them keyboard ninjas.
I was saying people write really nice things. They go, "Hey, Evan, man,
Yeah.
I've been watching your Instagram for a couple of years now, and I got to tell you, it's so inspirational how you're living your life."
Yeah.
I'm in love with a young, beautiful girl. We go to the beach every day. We go to yoga together. I'm at the gym every day.
Yeah.
I have my men that we inspire each other and I learn from every day. I study Spanish. Yo hablo español. I speak Spanish. I tour with BIOHAZARD. I have my solo album coming out on my fitness app. I do a lot. And I say to the guy, let my life inspire you to live your best life. Maybe you should move to He says he loves the beach. Maybe you should move to a beach. And then I hear the limiting self-belief. Oh man, I could never do that. You're
Right.
lucky. You're lucky because I could never do that. Really?
Yeah.
Am I lucky? You know, anybody who chalks up anybody else's success in anything as luck or their failures as bad luck. We create our own destinies. We
Yep.
create our own shit.
We sure do.
And, you know, I take credit for my good life today. I overcame a lot to get here where I am.
Yep.
And I'm grateful for what I have. So, you know, I work my best to keep this abundance mindset. Anyway, that's what I got, brother.
And the new
That's-
Biohazard is out. But the solo album, you know, is that did you do that? You know, is it scratching a different itch for you? You know, is it cathartic? You know, is it
Yes.
something different?
Yeah, because I love melody.
Yeah.
And Biohazard, you know, that's a thing that we do. And it's not very melodic. The melody of Biohazard is in the riffs.
Right.
And, you know, while we sing some melodic parts, I was looking for something that was more dark and dreary and with like harmonies and layered vocals. And I've had this idea for years and I didn't pull the trigger on it. And I started collaborating with some different, you know, music writers and started putting some of my ideas down. And I put together a 4-song demo and I'm shopping it around right now. I'm talking to a couple of labels. You know, I know that Black to Black, our label, is definitely interested in, you know, I'd be happy to put it out with them or, you know, whoever really steps forward and believes in the project. You know, it's life is to create, you know.
Yeah.
Some people like to, you know, listen. Some people like to sing, play. I like to do it all.
Now, I know the new Biohazard is called Divided We Fall, but, you know, I don't want to be presumptuous. And I know people can put different meanings on songs and their own interpretations. But is there a definitive theme to Divided We Fall, man? What is the band trying to say? Obviously, you know, you made a great point. There's a lot going on in the world. You know, the political landscape. There's all kinds of turmoil in the world. There's no shortage of shit to write about, no doubt. But do you have a...
I
do you
mean,
have
the recurring,
in mind?
I don't think it's like something you could put into one sentence, you know, but it's kind of like, you know, there are songs about brotherhood and loyalty and friendship, which we have on all our albums. And there's songs about social unrest. But I mean, if there had to be one overarching theme, it's kind of like, don't be fooled, guys. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe what the media is telling you.
Yeah.
Do your own research, find your own solutions, find your own answers, you know, stand for what you believe in.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe there's something bigger to believe in than two sides that they tell you get to pick from. Maybe you have a new idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're not saying that we have any of the answers, but, you know, millions of people bought our albums over the years. And in those group of people, maybe is the next president of some country. In that group of people, maybe is some Nobel Prize winning scientist who's going to solve cancer. I don't know. You know, if we can inspire anybody to make some positive change in the world, that's what we're here for. And we use our live shows to bring people together and have a positive place for them to vent their negative energy, because the world has enough conflict, and let's use music to lighten the fucking load a little bit.
Yeah. Now, after all these years, you know, I know from having done 350 episodes of this podcast, I've had musicians on here. Obviously, you know, a band is, for lack of a better term, a relationship. You know, it's personalities, it's egos, all coexisting in a band. What's the band relationship like now amongst all you guys? You know, you've obviously talked about your transformation. How has it impacted your relationship with the other guys? You know, with Bobby, with Billy, with Danny.
I mean, we all have our own individual friendships. We also have our own individual music connections with each other. But like as a whole, I think everybody agrees it's like that Mike and Mike in the morning. It's like what makes them different makes them great.
Yeah.
Like we're all really different kind of guys and the things that we're into in our personal lives. And I think there's a huge amount of acceptance and admiration for all of us of the others, of what they bring to this. And I think there's like a real live and let live thing with the band, you know. Our lifestyles are all very different. When we come together, it's like they called the super friends, you know.
Yeah.
And we you know, the biohazard symbol went up in the sky, and
Yep.
we're all meeting in New York or LA to start the recording, the tour, the album, something, you know.
Now, new album comes out in 2025. So now that the Biohazard machine is back up in full swing and full force in today's musical landscape, 2025, how often now should we be expecting new Biohazard? How fast do you think about in today's world, the next one?
Couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd like to let it have an album cycle.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it'll change that people only release singles and you put out, every band puts out one single every 2 months. I don't know.
Yeah. We're starting to see a lot more EPs, smaller bodies of work. And again, maybe that's, maybe that speaks to the dwindling attention spans. I don't know. I mean, it's sad, really. That's become that type of world where, people just want to feast their eyes or their ears on something for 60 seconds or 2 minutes, and then they want to move on.
Nah, yes and no. I mean, so many of the fans of the new Biohazard album, like we made like 20 different drops of limited edition vinyl. Every one of them sold out in a day or two, and guys are coming and they're like, "Hey man, that first song on side 2 really gets me." And I'm always like, I get chills.
Yeah,
because me, I'm an album guy.
Me too. Yeah, I'm from that era.
An album, like for bands, especially for heavy bands, like an album's like a complete thought. Like, I don't know. In the gym, I listened to the last 2 days. I listened to Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
I listened to Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith.
Yep.
And I listened to Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. These were my last 3 workouts.
Okay.
And like without the other songs, it doesn't do the thing.
Right.
It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's like, when something's meant to be, when you're supposed to have this wine with this dinner,
Right.
You didn't have the whole experience if you just heard the one song.
Right.
It's out of context. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't have control over the way people ingest music. I can, if I invent something, I'll let the world know.
Now, besides music, in the book,
I got to wrap up in a minute.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I'm getting signals from over there.
No, that's fine. I just want to ask you before you go. You got the Mantorship, you got the book, you got everything going on. Anything else that you can tell us about? Obviously, you've done Oz. You've been, anything in the acting front? Anything else on the horizon that you'd like to promote or talk about?
I mean, nothing like. We're gonna do a retreat down here.
Okay.
Probably in January, and it's called Man Fest. We've done 3 or 4 of them already.
Okay.
And this is like a full immersion for men who are looking to level up their lives.
Love it.
And we'll be announcing the dates really soon. But if you're a man and you're going through a hard time, you got shit on your mind, you got nobody to talk to, you feel alone in the world, maybe you're thinking about suicide, or maybe you're addicted to drugs or alcohol or porn, or maybe you've just become fucking cranky old fucking asshole, and you don't like your life. But if you feel dissatisfied with your life and you're looking to make a change, go to mantorship.com. Send me a DM and Instagram. That's where most of our guys come from, through social media. They'll see a post of mine talking about something, and it'll speak to them because I speak just as another guy.
Right.
I don't know anything more than you do, but I've found I have a pretty good talent for framing the question and starting a conversation. Yeah. That's what we're doing in Mantorship. We're not saying we have all the answers, but when you put together 20 guys in a circle and you say, let's talk about what's the best way to, move on from a bad relationship, you get a lot of different perspectives, and you can take what you like and leave the rest, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, you know what? Thank God you're out there doing this, man. It's so great to just have a candid conversation about this kind of stuff, man. I encourage people, you know, who are struggling, you know, to certainly look into this. Of course, everybody go out and check out the new Biohazard. And I want to say, man, that you have become what Sebastian Bach wanted to call the democracy. You are a savage animal.
It's really funny that you say that, because I was thinking to call my solo band Savage Animal, just on the joke of that. But you know, it's funny between people who watch the show, but Shed My Skin is the name because this is a transformation for me again. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's an amazing
going through the process of shedding, you know, an idea that I can only do music one way,
right,
to empower myself to have the confidence and the creativity to go ahead and do something a little different. I don't know if anybody's going to like it.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah. Is there a
I didn't know
projected,
if,
is there a
hey, I
projected
didn't,
release date? I mean, you know, I know you said you're shopping around, man, but so we should expect it sometime in 2026. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
hopefully, you know, I want to do it at a time when, you know, when Biohazard is not busy. I don't want to make
Sure.
it like I don't want to make it a distraction from the amazing work we're doing with Biohazard. But very often we tour, and like right now we have a bunch of months, you know, where we're not touring.
Right.
Um, so I'm using that time to keep my creativity going. You know, I could be dead tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe one of these songs will help somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, before I let you go, social media, if people want to tap into what you're doing, what you got going on, you're out there on all the platforms, correct?
Best place to follow me is on Instagram at EVAN SEINFELD, EVAN.
Okay.
And there's some really I got a lot of cool shit on YouTube, interviews like this.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they find my longer format content, tap in. I have a podcast as well from Mantorship that I'm going to be launching with the book.
Awesome.
We've got you've got 350 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Respect to your work ethic and consistency.
I've tried. I've got 350 of the music one, and then another 300 of my boxing podcast. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been busy these last couple of years.
That's probably why you and Danny became friends. He loves boxing.
Yes. Yeah. And we've talked about it. Definitely.
I've been practicing a little Muay Thai down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, turning 58, why not? Let's learn to strike with our elbows and knees.
You have to. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's a great way to like get rid of your aggression, and well, you know, it builds your confidence too, you know.
No doubt. Yeah.
You know, and you know what inspires me a lot too, you know, Billy is a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and teaches like seminars.
Yep.
And like, I never took martial arts quite so seriously, but for me, it's part of my thing. A little running, a little boxing, a little kickboxing, a little yoga, and the end result, you know, is physical fitness.
Yeah. And you don't get bored.
I'm never bored, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that feels like.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, you have a lot on your plate, man. A lot to keep you busy, and you're living a productive life. You know,
doing the best I can. It's not without its trials and tribulations.
Sure.
It's not without struggles in 100 areas.
Yep.
I deal with the same shit as everybody else. I just try to focus my attention on the positive, you know?
And that's why I wanted to kick the interview off with talking about the mentorship stuff, because I know people watch this show and it's always musical guests or whatever. And the music and 2025 having a new Biohazard album is absolutely fucking amazing. No doubt about that, man. But putting the shine on the real important shit, you know, not to impugn the Biohazard stuff, but getting the message out about, you know, breaking down these walls and guys being able to freely help each other and talk about this stuff is.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth, without Biohazard, none of this would have happened because, you know, when I set out as a fucking teenager to start a band and I didn't have a name, and Pete Steele gave us the name Biohazard, and we went on to have this amazing career, a successful career. That really powered my self-belief that I could do anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, want to hear my big picture goal? Millions and millions of men join the Mantorship app, and men get a little better in general. That we
Yeah.
become more mindful, we become better people.
Yep.
And that means we have better teachers and better cops and better firemen and better soldiers and better politicians.
Yep.
Better parents, better everything.
Yep.
You know, I know when I'm working on myself and I'm mindful of others, I'm better. And the people around me appreciate me more. And I know when I'm not, people run from me because I can be toxic.
Yeah.
You know, so having the self-recognition to see where we need to improve and the humility to be able to say, you know, I could do better.
Yeah.
I could do better, you know.
I'm in a spot in my life where this sounds like stuff that I even want to look into and tap into too. And, you know, I have those exact same struggles. You know, I mean, I have grown kids, but now I'm doing the grandparent thing, but I'm 52 and I check a lot of those boxes you talked about. A little out of shape, sometimes a little lost as far as the direction that I want to go in. You know, I've got a lot on my plate as far as like stuff to do, but sometimes feel a little stuck, feel a little bit in a rut. You know,
like how do you? I'll ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Food, and you won't be able to answer this right now, and I don't want you to. This is like a food. This is your homework, right?
Okay, fair enough.
I teach men how to get in touch with their truth, and it starts with finding what's the lie. You know, what's the lie you're telling yourself? I ask every man this the first time I meet him. What's the lie you're telling yourself?
Yeah,
I'm happy with this. This is good enough.
Right.
When guys tell me, man, I fucking hate my job, but I only have 11 more years to retirement.
Right.
And then I'll get half my salary for, like, be fearless. The only life you got, take a chance. But I'll ask you this. How do you teach your grandchildren about life? Do you stand over them and point your finger at them and tell them what to do? Or do you go out and lead by example and show them this is how you suck every fucking drop out of a well-lived life?
Yeah.
You know, I talk to my son every day. He's my best friend, Sam. You can check out his music. He's at Sam Solomon.
Okay.
He's got a solo.
I see him on your YouTube. He looks just like you too.
He looks like me on Urban Discipline.
Yes.
He's got an album coming out. It'll be out before mine.
Oh,
he's going to start releasing. He's going to release his first single around. I actually played bass on one of his songs.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I can appreciate that because my son is my best friend too.
Yeah, but you know, I think teaching your children to go for it, teaching your children to be fearless and not to do what everybody else does, and not to hold yourself back because you worry about what other people think and live with a bunch of regrets and what ifs.
Yeah.
You know. We just played in Brooklyn. I saw my best friends from childhood, Eric, Patrick, and David. And I love you guys if you're seeing this. And I was that guy from my friend group who took a left and moved to LA and started a band and went on world tour and, you know, went on TV and made reality shows and got into, you know, totally different fucking industries and had different, you know, different areas of success, but not for lack of trying everything.
Right.
You know, I don't want to fucking on my deathbed. I want to look at the people around me. My son thinks I'm a little morbid, but I'm like, you know, at my funeral, like I want people just to tell stories of how well I lived my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think that's pretty normal. I think about my mortality a lot too. And I try not to dwell on that. And I don't want my family sometimes will say, you know, bringing that stuff up, being morbid as well. I get that sometimes too, man. But it is hard, man. You know, you start to get over the age of 50 and you start to think about that stuff. You know,
you start to say if this was a football game,
right? I'm playing the second half here. Yeah, I'm in the second half.
You're well into the third quarter by statistically.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Listen, the best I can do is do the best I can, right?
Yeah.
So every year since I moved to Mexico, this is the fourth complete year. It's my 5th year here.
Yeah.
But on my birthday, I train really hard for like a month and a half before, and I diet a little bit. And I try to get in the best shape of my life. to show by example to my son, to the guys in my sorority who fucking work out with me,
Yep.
to the men in Mantorship, to my friends I grew up with, to my family, the people who care about me, that you can get in better shape every year of your life, not just with your fucking body, but with your business, with your relationships.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably in the healthiest relationship I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, that's great.
And
That's amazing.
and I've created some pretty unhealthy ones over the years. You know,
Sure.
I've been
Oh, yeah.
part of, you know, I'm an artist. I'm super emotional, and I attest that to me being willing to have a different experience and me being humble enough to say, man, I don't know shit. Maybe I need to try something totally different, new approach.
Yep.
You can always go back to your old ways. They'll always be there.
They will. I appreciate you so much, Evan, man. Listen, man, you're so generous with your time. I can't believe we went 90 fucking minutes, man. Unbelievable, man. I really enjoyed the conversation. Please stay in touch, man. Anytime you got something popping, man, you always got a platform here. I'd love to do it again sometime, man. It really means the world, man. Really.
Thank you. You do a great job.
Thank you.
You're a very good interviewer, and
I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
I know what it's like to be in an interview with somebody who's either not prepared or doesn't really care, or makes it more about, when I interview someone on my podcast, it's about them and where we have touch points, points of relation.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to bounce. Thank you. I
appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. This meant a lot to me, man. Really special interview for me, man. So thank you, man.
It's too bad you're a Giants fan, because if you weren't, you could be a Jets fan with me and be really miserable.
Listen, man, I might convert, man. They're giving me a lot of reasons to.
Man, Cam Scatterboo, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, we do
like you guys finally had a reason for me to tune in.
Yeah.
And he's fucking hurt,
I know. Oh, I got my Knicks. I'm pulling for my Knicks, man. So, it's on to, I've already thrown in the towel in football season.
I'm a Knicks fan, have been all my life.
Yeah, me too.
In the mid 90s, I made a big decision because I'm a huge NFL fan.
Yeah.
I follow the draft. I follow the off season. Like I'm in fantasy football. My son and I are going to watch the Jets Patriots game over FaceTime tonight.
Yeah, nice.
I realized that if I want to have as robust of a life as I want, I can't spend that much time watching sports. So I stopped watching baseball. I stopped watching basketball. I stopped watching hockey.
Yeah,
and
can't watch it all.
I pretty much just dove in deeper on the NFL. And I make more time to learn Spanish and go to Muay Thai class and walk on the beach with my girlfriend,
Yeah, the important things. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But this meant a lot to me, Evan. Really, man. Love you so much, man. Really, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Congrats on the new album, man. And
love you too, man. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you, my friend. We'll talk again, brother. Later.
Bye.
What an incredible conversation, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did, man. That episode will go down for me as a truly special, monumental one. Out of almost 350 episodes, that one I've had circled for a while. That one I've been cultivating, working on putting together, man. And I hope you guys dug that. That, of course, is the legendary Evan Seinfeld of New York's own BIOHAZARD, with a new album out in 2025. Shout out to the fellas, man. They have fucking done it again. Took 13 years, man, but they are back with a fucking vengeance. Let me just say that, with a vengeance. The new album dropped, what's got to be just a couple months old, not even a couple months old. Divided We Fall. It's out there now, folks. Do yourself a fucking favor. Listen to your boy Reckless Rexx when he tells you that you must go out. This is homework. Evan gave me homework. I'm giving my viewers and my subscribers homework. Go out, cop that new BIOHAZARD, wherever the hell, however the hell you listen to music. If it's physical product, if it's streaming, go out and get your ears feasted on that new BIOHAZARD. An incredible fucking album, and it is great to have the guys back. It is great to be able to say in 2025, Christmas has come early. We have new fucking BIOHAZARD, among other great albums. I mean, I'm happy to say that there's a new Agnostic Front album out. New York is fucking putting on in 2025. There's two great examples right there. Biohazard and Agnostic Front, man. And I am absolutely stoked and honored that I just got to spend 90 minutes with the legendary Evan Seinfeld. Means the absolute world. So many impactful things, so much stuff to unpack in that conversation. But at the end of the day, it is great to see Evan Seinfeld living his best life in 2025. What a transformation, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. He's really in a good place, and it is showing itself in the music. This is an incredible album. It is great to see all the fellas, Billy, Evan, Bobby, my guy Danny Schuler, who I've had on here a couple times. It is just great to see Biohazard back and in full swing. Congratulations to the fellas on putting out this incredible album. Congrats to Evan Seinfeld on everything that he's done in transforming himself and just getting himself into the best situation and into the best life and just going out there and living it. He looks great. He sounds great. And if you're a guy out there struggling with issues, I would encourage you to look into Mantorship. You can find links, obviously, as Evan said, through all of his social medias, his Instagram, really out there just helping men, helping themselves, men helping other men. We all struggle with issues. I can say candidly, as a 52-year-old father of 3 grown children, grandfather of 6, married for 28 years, that yes, I sometimes feel stuck in a rut very often. I wrestle with, stress, anxiety, boredom, restlessness, dissatisfaction with my job, with life, with all that stuff that gets us down. Struggled in the past with addiction, just all that stuff, that can weigh so heavy on us. You can get that kind of help. That's what Evan's message was. And that's why I wanted to talk about that right from the jump at the beginning of the interview, because as great as it is to talk about new Biohazard, as excited as I am to find out the 411 on this album, the meaning behind it, the songwriting, all that stuff that I did get to and did get to ask Evan. Most importantly, I wanted to talk right out of the gate about the great work that he's doing and just how great it is to be alive in 2025 and not feel that stigma of not being able to talk about our issues freely. Those walls are down, folks, and it is okay to other men, to anybody that's struggling out there, regardless of if they're a man or a woman. But specifically in this case, we're talking about mentorship and men. We don't have to suffer in silence, guys. We don't. We can talk about this stuff. We can be vulnerable. We can let people know that there's chinks in the armor, that we need help, that we could use a hand, we could use somebody to lend us an ear. And that's what Evan is out there doing with Mantorship, that and much, much more. I don't want to diminish it or act like I can, summarize it, any better than Evan can. But, the proof is in the pudding. He's obviously out there making a difference. If you need something like that in your life, I would encourage you to look into Evan's program. Keep your eye out for his book, which sounds like it goes hand in hand with the program. End of the day, he's out there doing God's work. He's out there doing a lot of great things to lift up his fellow men, his fellow human beings. So I salute that at the end of the day. And then, of course, there's this amazing fucking music, man. So Evan is really out there, as I said, living his best life. And I salute him for it, man. And I'm so happy to see one of my favorite artists flourishing, thriving, happy, content, and in a good place. And it is reflected in the music, because Biohazard has never fucking sounded better. They've always sounded amazing to me, though. Seminal albums, Urban Discipline, State of the World Address, New World Order. This new album is right there with all their fucking greatest pieces of work. So I encourage people to go out and check it out. And as I said, if you're a guy with any kind of struggles, look into Mantorship, reach out to Evan, and you can feel like you can feel confident that there is help out there. There are answers out there. There are other men out there with whatever problems you're struggling with. And, you know, as I said, we can freely talk about this stuff now. So it's a good time. Hey, listen, it's a good time to be alive. You know, walls are down. We can be human beings. We can be who we are nowadays. And it's 2025. We got a new fucking Biohazard album. Let's celebrate that. So I really appreciate Evan Seinfeld being on here today, though. At the end of the day, I'm rambling. I'm excited. I'm giddy. I'm a fan at the end of the day, man. This one really meant a lot to me, man. Fellow New Yorker. I've been excited all day. And it's going to take me a little while after this interview and after I log off to come down off of this, because this one was really special for me. So now I'll go into my own obligatory promotional spiel. I think I was in the middle of it. I might have got all the way through it before Evan popped on here, but I'll go through it one more time for you guys, because if you have a podcast, you know you have to pimp it. And the pimp hand, even after a 90-minute conversation with Evan Seinfeld, the pimp hand's still feeling strong. So let's give it a go. Make sure to tap into PodScum on Facebook. Our handle is Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. Same with Instagram, Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. Both of my shows, one Instagram, one Facebook page, because as Evan said, you can't be on fucking social media 24/7. You can't, listen, I got to simplify my life, folks. People have said many times, Rexx, why not a separate Instagram account and a separate Facebook account for both of your podcasts? No. The answer is a big, emphatic, fat no. I got living to do. God's sakes, I can barely juggle one Facebook account and one Instagram. So I promote both podcasts on one platform. I should say one Instagram and one Facebook. The Instagram handle, I kept it simple for you guys. It's the same handle, Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. I've dumbed it down for you guys. I've dumbed it down for myself because I'm a dummy sometimes. So those are our handles. Tap in with us. If you go to the Facebook page, you will get updates on new episodes, when those episodes are going to drop, who will be on said episodes, and lots of other cool stuff. It's not just about promoting the shows. If something is newsworthy, noteworthy, if it pops up on my radar, whether it's in the boxing world and in the fight game, or if it's in the music, arts, entertainment, rock, metal world, I try to put it up there and keep you guys in the loop if I think it's something that my audience would want to be informed of. So lots of cool little nuggets up there. I try to keep it fun. I try to keep it informative. Same with our Instagram page. I take little snippets of these conversations, reels, as the kids call them nowadays, and I put them up there. It's a great promotional tool. I know in our fast-paced world, sometimes we just want to hear a little piece of the conversation, a little teaser, if you will. Maybe that brings us to watching the full episode, which I hope it does. But again, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram. And if you're here right now watching, you are in the right place. This is where you're going to get that amazing content that we bring your way every single week, the full conversations right here on our YouTube channel. If you're here now, please like, please subscribe, and please smash that notification bell in the upper region of your screen somewhere. Find it and do something dreadful to it, and you will be privy to when those new episodes drop. I want you guys in the loop, and I want you guys in the know, because the content is amazing. I'm a fan. I'm blown away by the conversations that I get to have on here, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So I'm always rolling them out weekly, sometimes one a week, sometimes multiple times a week, depending on how much content we've got. But I like to get it out to you guys ASAP because I'm excited to unveil it. So I appreciate all the viewers. I appreciate all the subscribers. I appreciate, at the end of the day, of course, my guests, without whom I could not do this. It means the absolute world to me. As Evan Seinfeld said so eloquently at the beginning, our time so valuable. And I appreciate Evan sharing 90 minutes almost of his time with me. That really meant a lot. That was an amazing conversation. So today, I'm grateful and expressing my gratitude towards the great Evan Seinfeld for coming on here and just chopping it up with me and having an incredible conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, there'll be links on our Facebook page when I post this episode coming out. I'll have links to all of Evan's stuff, his social media accounts, the Mantorship stuff, all that stuff. So, and of course, you know, links to the Biohazard website, yada, yada, yada. All the good shit will be there, folks. You can count on it. Your boy Reckless Rexx never lets you down. So I appreciate you guys. And Keep tuning in. I appreciate all the support, man. Thank you guys so much, man. And until we get together and we do this thing again, this is your boy Reckless Rex reminding you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.